What is going on, guys? This is Elijah here, and today I'm back with another college football prediction video, and this time I am talking about the Ohio State Buckeyes versus the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Alright, so as you guys know, that I'll be talking about the Ohio State Buckeyes going on the road to face off the Nebraska Cornhuskers at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska. Time is 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, September 28th, 2019. Coverage will be on ABC. And man, it's been a crazy year for Nebraska Cornhuskers because they started out slow and they come back to win. And of course, they had leads and they all blew it against Colorado when they could have won that game, but they lost to Colorado 34-31 in overtime. I watched that game. And of course, they were down big against Illinois yesterday, and then they came back and won 42-38. And it was crazy weekend yesterday, or crazy Saturday yesterday. Lots of upsets, and especially Washington State, man, that was a crazy game. You'd think it'd be a basketball game, but they had Washington State's quarterback had 9 touchdowns in that game, which is crazy. All right, and of course the Ohio State Buckeyes, they've just been dominating all their games lately. They killed FAU. Well, not really killed FAU. They beat them 45-21. I mean, still pretty dominant. And they just dismantled Cincinnati, dismantled Indiana, and then destroyed Miami, Ohio, 76-5. And man, Justin Fields has been excellent the past 4 games, and it's just been offense has been dominating. And Ohio State looks really good this year. Who knows about this year? Will they make it all the way? They definitely have a chance, because Michigan is just terrible right now. Their offense is horrible. They got destroyed by Wisconsin, and it's just been awful for Jim Harbaugh as usual. But as you guys know, I like to go through the match predictor, season leaders, and then team stats, and then close it out with a final prediction of this year's game. And this is like a podcast slash video, because I just feel like it's better that way, and just for you guys to listen instead of just watching gameplay, because sometimes people get angry and just whatever. But anyways, let's go through the match predictor. Ohio State has a 89.8%, while Nebraska has a 10.2% of beating Ohio State. And this is also a college game day game, so it's going to be in Lincoln, Nebraska for this game, because it's going to be hopefully a pretty good game. And this is Ohio State's one big test against Nebraska. Nebraska's okay. They can do well against Ohio State. They played pretty decent last year, but they still lost. And who knows? This could be a upset, or it could be just another dominant game by Ohio State. All right, so the season leaders, we have Justin Fields through 4 games. He has 66 through 95 completions to attempts. He has 880 passing yards and 13 touchdowns. And for Nebraska, for Adrian Martinez, he has over 67 completions to 109 attempts with 1,052 passing yards. For touchdowns, he has 7 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, so not bad at all. For rushing wise, we have Ohio State. We have J.K. Dobbins. So far through 4 games, he has 68 carries, 477 rushing yards, and 5 touchdowns. So, and from Nebraska, we have Maurice Washington. He has 35 carries, 268 rushing yards, and 1 touchdown. For Ohio State, we have Benjamin Victor with 14 receptions, 242 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. For Nebraska, we have J.D. Spielman for 18 receptions and 383 yards and 1 touchdown. All right, so, and if I pronounce the last name wrong, I'm sorry. I usually get a lot of feedback on that because I usually mispronounce names, even though people say it and I still mispronounce it. All right, so team stats. Lastly, we have Ohio State with points per game, 53.5, while Nebraska only has 38.0 points allowed per game. Ohio State with 9.0 and Nebraska 25.3. Not bad for them. Total yards for Ohio State, they have a whopping 524.5 total yards per game. And for Nebraska, 485.3. And for yards passing, we have Ohio State with 264.5, while Nebraska has a 270.5. For yards rushing, we have Ohio State with 260.0, Nebraska 214.8. For defense, lastly, we have total yards allowed. Ohio State 222.0, while Nebraska has a terrible 356.8, so that's not good at all. Passing yards allowed, Ohio State has 161.8 passing yards allowed, while Nebraska has 240.0. Rushing yards allowed, this is huge for Ohio State. They've only allowed 60.3 yards allowed, while Nebraska, still pretty decent, only allowed 116.8. So, now I'm going to go through the final thing, which is the prediction. I think overall, through the stats and then through the season leaders comparison, I think Ohio State is still going to win this game. Nebraska can be inconsistent at times, and they start out. Ohio State starts out with 2 touchdowns, and while Nebraska is struggling the first, then I think Ohio State is going to win this game. So my prediction, I believe that Ohio State is going to win this game, 41-24. I know it seems like a big stretch, but I still think Ohio State's offense is just overpowering teams. Justin Fields is a great quarterback, but you can get me wrong. You can comment below on this video and tell me why I'm wrong, And yeah, I think Ohio State's going to win this game, respectively, because I think they're the better team. And Nebraska can be inconsistent at times, and they could be down early and they come back. But who knows? Anything can happen in college football. There's going to be so many upsets. And I kind of hope Nebraska wins because I don't really like Ohio State. But I think Ohio State is just the better team. Alright, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day. See you guys later. Until next Saturday. And peace.